This week I've had a few people contact me about an intriguing story claiming there is research conclusively proving that violent video games mess with your head. It didn't take long before I had people writing to me smugly declaring that what I've been saying for the past 2 or 3 years is completely false. But is that really the case? As you're probably aware by now, this anti-video game movement is something I do genuinely care about, so when assertions such as these are made, I do like to do my homework. The news, which has been covered by all the usual suspects, Fox News and all, is about a study from the Indiana University School of Medicine. They conducted their research on 22 men between ages 18 and 29, splitting them into 2 groups of 11. One played a quote-unquote shooting video game for 10 hours spread out over the course of a week. Then in the following week, stopped playing it completely. The second group likewise didn't play any at all. Functional MRI scans were carried out at the end of the first and second weeks to examine brain activity. Some very minor differences were observed at the end of the first week amongst those who'd been playing violent video games, all of which then diminished by the end of the second. This proves then that any effects were entirely temporary, and yet Dr. Wang of the research department claims this study shows a long-term effect on brain functioning, which contradicts the actual results of the research. Among the various outlets covering this matter, many implied of course that these effects were negative, but when asked what these effects actually meant, Dr. Wang replied, "Clinically, we don't know what these changes mean, but it does affect your brain somehow." Okay then. So in actuality, none of this is conclusive. Contrary to what many have suggested, it doesn't show any evidence of violent games having a negative influence on the brain at all. But I'm not stopping there. Am I the only one who thinks the reliability of this data is a little bit questionable? There were only 22 people, and all of them were male. Believe it or not, female gamers actually make up around 40% of the overall gaming audience, which in real digits is huge. They've overlooked a lot of people here. Lastly, this was all funded by SOS Parents, a group that has been accused countless times over the years of bias and have been shown to have made various false claims about the science behind screen violence before. Without throwing any accusations out there myself, it's safe to say that this has come from a less than reputable source.